Microsoft wants Game Pass everywhere, Cult of the Lamb promises to get sexy, and Elon Musk throws his toys out of the pram. I'm Ash Dixon and this is GINX News. Despite it literally being called Xbox Game Pass, it seems that Microsoft doesn't want it to be confined to just the Xbox. In fact, Xbox CFO Tim Stewart has said this week that they want it to be available on every screen that can play games. And he doesn't just mean mobile phones and smart TVs, they also want it to be available on Sony and Nintendo consoles too. And it's kind of a crazy move because surely it would jeopardize their own console sales. They've literally said themselves that Xbox has lost this generation's console war, and to be honest, the primary appeal of buying one is the affordability of Game Pass, because let's be honest, it's not exactly the first party games. But if you look at the bigger picture, it would mean a whole ton more people to sell Game Pass to, and that would likely make up for any potential losses. Now, whether Sony or Nintendo allow this to happen is another question. Spoiler, they won't. But still, it just goes to show how much the industry is changing. 10 years ago, you would have called me crazy if I told you that Microsoft wants to put their first party games on PlayStation, but then again, I wouldn't have predicted that Microsoft bought Activision or that Skyrim's successor still isn't out yet. What crazy times we live in. Massive Monster are adding adult content to Cult of the Lamb. Yep, you heard that right, or at least you probably did, because we don't actually know what's coming. Before we get into it, I should give you a little bit of history. Cult of the Lamb came out in June last year, and it did pretty well for itself. It averaged about 50,000 players when it came out and won a fair few awards, especially in Australia, where Massive Monster are based. Fast forward a year and a half, and the buzz has died down pretty considerably, with the game averaging about 2,000 players. So Massive Monster decided to try and give Cult of the Lamb a jumpstart by doing what any of us would do. A couple of days ago, they tweeted out, "We will add sex to the game if we hit 300k followers by the end of the year," accompanied by this little fella. It had 290 something thousand followers before the tweet, so it wasn't exactly a big ask. It should therefore come as no surprise that it didn't take long. 2 hours. In fact, which, if the code in the tweet is anything to go by, means that sex in-game equals very, very true. Now, what I am surprised about is that not only did they reach their target, but they absolutely frickin' smashed it. At the time of this recording, they have over 417,000 followers, which means that about 120,000 people subbed because they want sex in a roguelike game about a lamb. 120,000. Now, let's just assume 90% of those are just doing it for the memes. That's still 12,000 people who want to see some lamb-inspired sexy time. Not even going to unpack the fact that lamb are baby sheep. Even Devolver, who published Cult of the Lamb, are pulling a big old WTF face about the whole situation, although I'm sure they'll be very happy people are playing the game either way. So now the question is, what kind of new content will we be seeing exactly? I mean, it doesn't look like it, but this is a family-friendly show, so I'm not going to speculate about what I want to see. Let's just say, lamb's back on the menu, boys. Why did you write that? I'm hungry. Elon Musk. The daily reminder that with enough privilege, you can really achieve anything. Such as spending a hilariously high amount for one of the world's most recognizable social media companies just to rename it to a single letter and completely take its value. And if Musk wasn't done showing off his entrepreneurial expertise, well, he outdid himself again yesterday in New York. You see, currently a load of advertisers aren't happy with X due to the anti-Semitic content on the platform. They don't want their products next to all that kind of stuff. No surprise. Well, Musk says it's not actually a problem and that they're just trying to bring down his company. Big words from someone who literally replied to an anti-Semitic trope by saying it's the actual truth. Well, he was asked about the whole fiasco, and well, just see for yourself.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear?
Now, a bunch of Elon Musk fanboys are obviously going to try and start this as some super cool act of rebellion against the media elite, you know, from the multi-billionaire who literally owns one of the most influential media companies in the world. Well, was one of the most influential. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a narcissistic meltdown and perhaps one of the stupidest things you can do from a business perspective. If the bulk of your revenue comes from advertisers, you don't look super cool telling them to go f themselves. You just look like an immature idiot. Like, he literally admits himself that this will kill his business. But no, in total narc fashion, it's everyone else's fault except his, all while completely ignoring the horrible implications that this would mean for all of X's employees. What's also hilarious is he's like, Earth will see what's happening. And it's like, bro, we're living through extremely unstable geopolitical times, all while there's a cost of living crisis. No one gives a about your stupid little company. Yet another reminder of just how out of touch he is. And the idiocy of being like, Earth will decide. Bro, we can't even agree if a dress is white and gold or blue and black. Although it's obviously blue and black. It is though, isn't it? Look at it.
Let it go.
Use your eyes, Di. And I know I'm gonna get some salty replies from Musk fans, but it's totally chill. They're all about free speech, right? But then again, we are one of those big nasty media corporations, you know, with our 112 views. Either way, it feels like the writing is on the wall on this one. I think we all knew Twitter was gonna die at the hands of Musk, but I do just want to give him props for the speed and fashion of which he's done so. It's truly impressive stuff. As a Brit, the stereotype that I'm some kind of tea addict can get pretty exhausting. Like, we're not all obsessed with tea. And that's why on this show, we like to stick to the gaming news. And oh God, they've made a tea-based controller, haven't they? Fine, whatever, let's have a look at it. I bet it doesn't, oh God, oh for God's sake. They're available on PS5 and Xbox? Oh, of course. Okay, fine, yes, I do want one. How much?
150 quid.
Now, I don't know how much brand recognition Yorkshire tea has outside of the UK, but it's a particular favourite here, and now they've made the decision to make their own overpriced controllers, because why not? However, I must admit, I do like the description. It says on the box, it reads, picture the scene. You're facing down a boss with 3 heads and a hammer as big as a truck, armed with nothing but a rusty sword you looted from a guard. Gulping, you look down at your controller in your hands, wondering if victory is even possible. And then you see it, the reassuring branding of your favourite tea. Yes, you say to yourself, I can do this. You begin the fight and are immediately one-shotted. Maybe this controller is for me after all. And that's the show. Thanks for liking and subscribing. No, I'm not gaslighting you into doing it. You don't even know what gaslighting means. Do check out yesterday's video somewhere around here though, and we'll see you tomorrow.